for you, when did you kind of like want to expand? Because, Instagram's one business model.
Yeah.
Being a blog is a business model. But you've kind of expanded the brand into so many different like branches of like just expanding the portfolio. Obviously now we have the Jason Lee show, which congrats on the first episode with Cardi B.
Thank you.
But when did you kind of realize like, there's just so much more here than just being a blog or being the gossip site?
When my Instagram went down, because that was like where most of our revenue was coming from, and when that shit went down,
was that 2019?
It was 20. Shit, I don't even know. It was probably 2017, 2018. It may have been 20. It's a blur now. It was. I
remember when that happened because and then I would try to.
time.
There was like a different page you guys had, right?
Yeah, we had a fucking. What do you call those? A backup page.
Yeah, the backup page going.
Yeah, and then that became complicated because then Instagram was like, if you lost Hollywood Unlocked, you can't have a backup to that because you lost it.
Because you lost it for a reason.
That company whatever. It was crazy. I think once I lost that, it scared me because I think the thing that for me that I never followed my dreams early on was the fear of not being able to pay my bills.
Mm-hmm.
That's everybody's dream. That's everybody's fear, which is why a lot of people are afraid to start their own brands.
And they're afraid to quit their full-time job.
The union was paying me $5,000 every other week. So every other week I was hood rich on Thursday. On Friday I was hood rich. On Thursday I was broke.
Right.
But every other Friday I had money. So to leave that, I was forced to leave it, but then hustling to then leave all that to really focus everything and to put all my eggs in one basket was scary. And so when I lost the Instagram, my whole focus was, okay, fuck that. When I come back, we're going to diversify this brand.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have at least 10 to 15 streams of revenue. And if 10 to 15 streams of revenue are bringing in 5,000 each, you can kind of do the math if we do that on a monthly basis.
Of course.
Now, of course, we're, making close to 7 figures every month. But so now it's a more sustainable model because now that the brand has become validated and has created its own lane, now it's just about how do we plug and play into other areas.
Yeah. I think like the one thing that most people, you were saying earlier, the fear of paying your bills, it's like it kind of like paralyzes people's progress.
Absolutely.
Like so many people I know, like in my personal life, have so much potential, and I always am like, yo, you should do this. Like I got a homie who's like in the best shape ever. He works out every day, and I've been trying to convince him to be a personal trainer and start a gym for like it feels like my entire adulthood, and now he just has a normal job and he's miserable. And I'm like, dude, you got to roll the dice sometimes.
Yeah. You have to feel like your dreams are worth fighting through the fear. My whole motto when I wrote my book, God Must Have Forgotten About Me, I wrote about fear over faith, faith over fear. When I used to get on a plane early on, I'd be like, oh my God, this plane's going to crash. This plane's going to, the turbulence, we're going to die. But then on one hand, I'm over here listening to gospel music, telling people that you have to have faith in God, you have to have faith in this. So I had to really go back into what I believe. What is my faith? What is the foundation of the Jason Lee person? And what is the foundational belief that the Jason Lee experience should exude? Faith over fear. So my faith is, I had to find the faith that I believed in myself enough to get through the fear. And most people, when I talk to them, like I was talking to my therapist today, I'm in therapy. I was saying to him, I'm gonna do this new show that I'm selling to this network, and I want to bring you in to do this therapeutic session. But I was telling my creative idea for it. And I said, well, why don't you do a show where you sit down and work with people who've been canceled and work through why they've been canceled in a way that makes them, uncancelable.
That sounds like $1 million idea.
We were talking about it. He was like, yo, I would do that because he works with other celebrity and public figures. And I'm like, yo, I started telling him ideas. And he was like, yo, you're able to come up with ideas that is unlike anybody else. I said, that's not true. I'm able to focus because that is something that I believe in. And anybody that believes in something, if they can just push past the fear, like I feel like anything is possible.